I'd now like to recognize Mr. Posey out of Florida for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Bell, can you elaborate on why aircraft data is such an important way to collect weather data?
Thank you for that question. Yes, I mean, it is extremely important to have in situ weather observations. There has been numerous studies that have shown that aircraft data remains a top 5 data source when it comes to your weather models, meaning that it's one of the most important and critical data sources that are being assimilated into our weather models, especially when it comes to short-term rapid cycling weather models. So that's just showing that, satellite data that is extremely beneficial for the weather models, especially the global weather models. But when we're talking about short-term forecasts, we really need this real-time observations.
Okay. Can you explain the process for how NOAA partners with the private sector to deploy weather sensors on commercial aircraft?
Yes. So in the past, NOAA has funded the equipage of aircraft with these weather sensors. So they did do a program with airlines in the past. However, most of those airlines are going through fleet replacement cycles. So a lot of that data will be lost over the next 5 to 10 years as those aircraft go out of service. So how Flight plans to do it is we will partner with an airline, and we will go to NOAA and we will talk to NOAA about where they feel data would be most valuable. So if they say, we really need data over the Pacific Northwest or Alaska or other data sparse regions, that is where we will look for a partner airline. We will go to NOAA with that partner airline, and then we will take care of all the STCs, the installation of the sensor, and then handle the data transmission down to the ground, and then back over to NOAA.
Does anybody besides NOAA benefit from that?
Yes, I mean, the FAA could definitely benefit from having this information, especially when we're talking about turbulence forecasts. Having more in situ observations would benefit the FAA. We're also looking into potentially doing increasing the sensitivity of our sensor, and that would help with contrails forecasts. So the Air Force is currently looking at better predictions of your contrails forecast. So they need to have those in situ relative humidity observations to be able to better predict where they would be forming the contrails.
Yeah, and you mentioned the turbulence. How would that be measured?
So there's a few things that could improve our turbulence forecast. For one, having better short-term forecasts will inherently improve your turbulence forecast because turbulence are so interwoven within your general forecast. The second way is that we can incorporate the NCAR EDR algorithm within our sensor so that we can also report turbulence on our aircraft. So if we have more in situ turbulence observations, that will allow you to have better turbulence observations and forecasts.
Okay. Is there currently a government agency tasked with the mission of turbulence forecasting?
The Aviation Weather Center puts out turbulence forecasts right now.
Okay. Would our industry and private sector benefit from a clear government mission on turbulence? It's pretty critical.
We definitely believe so. If we have better forecasts, if we have more of a mission to improve our turbulence forecast to get more in situ turbulence observations, that could enhance the mission of protecting lives and property.
Thank you. Mr. Jenkins, can you tell us about the water temperature affecting the atmosphere?
Absolutely. Oceans are driving our weather and climate by the rate of absorption and rejection of heat and carbon dioxide. They're absorbing the majority of the heat we make, and that is delaying climate change. So if the oceans continue to absorb heat, it puts out temperature changes in the atmosphere. If it stops to absorb heat, they would accelerate the atmospheric warming. Likewise for carbon, the ocean is absorbing our carbon. If the ocean continues to do that, it mitigates climate change on our surface of the Earth, but it also acidifies the ocean. So the carbon dioxide turns to carbonic acid, and it means that fish can't build bones and shells can't build shells for the creatures. So very significant, will disrupt our entire food chain, and that needs to be measured very specifically. Children is the only autonomous platform that can measure that to very, very high accuracy. We worked with NOAA for a 4-year period on a crater to develop a sensor that can actually measure, detect, and quantify carbon in the atmosphere and the ocean.
Very good. My time is about to expire, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.